October Red Boxing here with Ty Mitchell at Manning's Boxing Gym in Birmingham. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us today, Ty. I can see that obviously you're in the middle of the treatment.
Yeah.
When I first came in, you was in that crazy oxygen tank. Talk to us a little bit about that. I mean,
it's just good for recovery. Say you've got injuries and stuff, basically we only breathe like a very low percent of oxygen naturally. It just gives you like 99% oxygen. So it's just good for recovery for your muscles, for injuries and stuff like that. And good for fitness and stuff. It's just good all around. It's all a good thing. Obviously, this what I'm in at the minute is just like driving out the lactic acid in your legs and stuff. And I'm just science in it. It's leveled up on it since the old days when you used to just jump in the ice bath. Obviously, we still do that. But yeah, there's a lot of science in it, 21st century and all that. So yeah, made the most of it.
I'm loving the treatments. It's good to see, like you said, the futuristic way that we're starting to deal with, you know, dealing with injuries or dealing with recovery or just looking after our bodies in general. But we're going to talk a little bit about yourself. Hold on a minute, that TV's a bit loud. You got a volume thing?
Yes, I have.
It's only because it will echo. It's alright, I keep it natural anyway, so I ain't going to cut that out. Your career then, you're not pro at the moment, but you're looking to turn back. Talk to us a little bit about your career and what you're doing with it at the moment, and when can we expect to see you back out there?
Yeah, so obviously since 2015 I've just been doing the unlicensed thing. Just been doing the unlicensed boxing, EBF boxing, unlicensed boxing, because obviously I'm not able to go pro at the minute. But I can go pro from the end of December. So I'm going to do another, I think one, maybe two more if possible unlicensed. I got one on Friday. And then I might do one more October, maybe November, but it's not guaranteed, maybe. And then yeah, probably February time I'll start going out. I'll get my pro license back and I'll probably be out about February.
That is awesome news.
Yeah.
Congratulations and well done for that. Because how long have you been out of it then?
It'll be 10 years.
Talk to me about the patience that you've had to have, because I know that you've had an ongoing fight to go back pro.
Yeah.
I understand that. You know, anybody that knows you will know a little bit about your story and that you've had a literal battle to get where we are, but you haven't stopped. Like you said, you've been doing the unlicensed, but talk to us a little bit about that mindset that you've had to have, that patience to get you back where you are today.
I'm a godly person, so God's time is perfect. So if I was meant to be now, it would have been now. If it was meant to be last year, it would have been. Whenever it was meant to be, God's time is perfect. And if God wants something, no one can stop it anyway. So I just take solace in that. Like, I'm not just going to quit. Like, when things get hard or things don't go to plan, just have to have patience. So then when it will be, and it'll come at the right time. Maybe I wasn't ready for it then. Maybe I was too mature, immature. Maybe I was too this, too that. And the longer it goes on, the better I get anyway. So that's probably where it comes from, my patience. Obviously, it's frustrating at times. That I'm not saying I'm not bothered. Of course, I'm bothered. But what will be. I can only do what I can do, and what will happen. So yeah, it's to be fair, I just use this unlicensed thing because unlicensed gets a bad stigma. Like, the people can't fight. There's some good fighters in this unlicensed game. There's a lot of ex-pros. There's a lot of up-and-coming pros. Fabio Wardley, perfect example. He was on the unlicensed scene. He can fight. Just because it doesn't mean he couldn't be fight before he had a pro license. I know a lot of pro people that can't fight. So I'm just using it to just basically keep the rumor stuff, and just basically I don't have to do the journeyman stage or the easier fight stage now. So when I can go, I can kind of jump back in and jump in at good fights. That's the plan anyway. So yeah.
You mentioned that, and it seems as if the more boxers that I speak to, sometimes it comes across that there's sort of a classification of boxers, and it's sort of like, well, I've had 40 amateur fights, so I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I went to the Olympics, so I'm better than you. Do you feel that in boxing?
Yeah, I feel like it can happen. People feel like if they've got a better background, but listen, we'll find out when you fight. You know what I mean? I know a lot of really good Olympians, and they've not done nothing as pros. And I know a lot of pros that was rubbish in the amateurs and have gone on to be very good. It's a different sport. It's not a different sport, but it's a different type of boxing. It's like people naturally go from go-karting to F1. It doesn't mean just because you're good at go-karting, you'll be good at F1. It's a different sport. Yeah, you're driving around the track, but it's a different thing. Do you know what I mean? 10-ounce gloves are proper 10-ounce gloves. No head guard, long rounds. It's different score methods. It's just a different sport. So I do see it, but at the end of the day, you're going to get in there, you're going to fight, then you'll find out. Because anything else is just hearsay, innit, really.
You've got a point. What is your weight class?
Super middle.
Okay.
Maybe light heavy. I'm going to see how I feel. I want to do super middle. And I feel like if I do my diet, nutrition right and this and that, I could be a very big, strong super middle. But if I feel like it's becoming more of a hindrance, then I'll just go up a weight. Because I'm a huge light heavyweight. Never mind, I'm an enormous super middleweight. So it's not really a problem. It's not like I need to be. It's just by choice. I'd rather get every advantage I can get and make it as easy as I can for myself.
Yeah, apologies, because I thought you was a light heavyweight, but I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, no, super middle. My last fight was super middle, 12 stone.
Okay, okay. So you've got a fight. You said that you've got a fight on Friday.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Nottingham.
Okay.
It's in Nottingham Friday. It's just like an EBF show, so obviously I've got a few EBF belts. I'm just defending one of them titles. 10 rounds, and yeah, just to run out. I don't think he'll go 10 rounds, but we'll see.
As you do.
You need to talk to me about your style of fighting.
Aggressive counter puncher, I'd say. That's probably, if I had to put myself, to be fair, it depends what mood I'm in. And it depends what mood I'm in, and it depends who I'm fighting. I kind of adapt to who I'm fighting. But yeah, I'm not someone that likes to get into a war. I'd rather not get hit. If I can dodge 10 punches and hit you with one, I'd rather do that than take one to give one. Because you don't get there's no prizes for getting hit. But I'd say, yeah, I'd probably say aggressive counter is probably the best forte to put me in.
So you're
I don't.
foot?
I'm not on no points though. I go in there to do that. I go in there to like, hurt people. I'm not trying to go to points or, do you know what I mean?
You want to get them out of there?
Yeah. Even if I'm winning every round, I'm still trying to take you out. When I fight, I never think it's going to go to points. That's not my mindset. If it has to go to points, it has to go to points. But that's not what I think. So yeah, aggressive counter, I'd say.
I like that. So of your fights then that you've had, and I'm going to move on to obviously the unlicensed fights that you've had because they're the most recent. How have your wins gone? Talk to us about the scores on those.
I've had 11 and knocked 10 out and won 1 on points.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you are knocking people out then?
I'd have knocked the last one out as well if I wasn't so drained. I didn't do the weight properly, and the gloves was shit. They give us some proper amateur gloves, where normally we box in proper like pro gloves. But to be fair to the kid, he was a tough, rugged kid, and he was like a spoiler kind of fighter. So fair play to him. But yeah, that's my 11 and 0 with 10 knockouts. Not bad.
You know the matching then in the unlicensed fights compared to the pro, because you've done both. What's that like, and would you say that the unlicensed fights, because sometimes in the pro, what I'm getting at is sometimes in the pro game, you can get easier journeymen. You can get 50-50 fights, or you can get those step-ups.
Yeah.
In the unlicensed game, what is that like in comparison to?
I think it's the same, to be honest. The only thing is not being big-headed. It's not really no step up for me in the EBF. I've boxed literally everyone, the best people there is to box. I've even given away 2 stone. I've done a competition in Essex. I've done a prize fighter, and I was 12 stone 9. They was all 14 stone. Where he did it for, so it's probably fine at 15 big kids, and I knocked all of them out. So there's not really a step up. There's not really. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of good people. There is people at a good level, but I boxed nearly all of them anyway.
But there's a ceiling then, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a ceiling. Yeah,
for
whereas
it.
with pro, there's no ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is, but it's very, very far up in the sky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got Woodson, you've got Canelo's, you've got all these champions.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm probably the ceiling of the unlicensed. Do you know what I mean? And I'm no Canelo. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but dream big.
You got to dream big.
Dream
Not yet.
big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, got to be realistic. Though. I'm not Canelo yet.
So then, all right then. So January. So what are we waiting on now then for your pro stuff to come back?
Well, basically, I have to wait for my license and my probation period to finish. That finishes in December, so they have to give me back another choice. Obviously they can, but then I can just go and get one with any federation. So I'll get that back in December, January, and then I'll fight in probably February, March.
And how long did you have to do for this probation?
10 years. Yeah.
So you literally had to stay on that for 10 years?
Well, I was in prison for a period.
Yeah.
Then I come out, so I was in prison for 4, then came out, and then I've been on
6
for 6.5. So 4 and then 6. Sorry, 4 and then 6.
So when they were saying, okay, what was their reasoning behind not allowing you to box? You've done your sentence.
Yeah, they just said you're still on license, you're on probation. We're not giving it you. But they have given it people before. They just didn't want to give it me.
Right. Okay.
They say you don't with anyone, but they have done it before.
Well, you'll know that because no doubt you would have done your research if you was doing appeals. But then saying that, this is just going to push you harder.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to make you more dangerous when you get out there as well, because you feel like you've got a bit of catching up to do. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or anything, but it's going to be like, hold on a minute. There's 10 years here.
This what's the name period helped me a lot. This coronavirus, because it stopped everyone going even further than what it actually would have. But I don't even watch anybody else, to be honest. Like naturally, I'll think, yeah, I've got a lot of catching up to do. But look, I've got probably 6 years in boxing. If I'm not going to do nothing in 6 years, I was never going to do nothing. 6 years is more than enough time to do something. And I'm a late bloomer. I've got no miles on the clock. I've not had no fight, so I'll be still fresh. And I don't really watch what anyone else does. I can only focus on myself, and I just have to be better than what I was, and what I was in my next fight. If I just have to be better than I was the fight before. And what will be, will be. I can't really say I'm never going to lose. I can't really say I'm going to be a world champion. I can't really say this. What will be, will be. I can only do the best I can do, and if it's enough to make it, then that's good. And if it's not, then it wasn't meant to be.
Well, after 10 years, all I can say is that your mindset is solid. This is what you want to do. Because you could have done all sorts of different things, maybe changed career completely, but you stayed in the boxing game. It's almost like no matter what, this is what I'm going to do.
It's the only way I can see me making millions of pounds. That's the only way. I can't really see it with a lot of other ways, to be honest. Like it's a bit weird. Like I don't have a proper passion for boxing like a lot of people do. It's just I don't know any different. It's a way of life for me. Do you know what I mean? And it's the only way I can see myself giving me a good positive future and changing other people's lives in the future with people around me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously you're teaching, as you're doing bits, people are watching you and they're learning from you. So yeah, everything goes to plan. January, February, we're back on track.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your aspirations for the next 2 years and what you're seeking to achieve in boxing.
2 years, not a long period, is it? Maybe British.
Yeah.
British European, probably. Yeah, that'd be nice. First fight back, I want to try and fight someone in the top 5 anyway, domestically. If I can, it depends on how many rounds they're going to let me do. They're probably going to let me do 6 first fight. But if I can get someone in the top 5 to do a 6th round, they're probably going to be unlikely. But even if I have one and then the next fight, that's probably what I'll plan to do. Because it just depends, innit? I just don't think there's no point wasting time. I've already, what I can obviously need a bit more experience, but I don't think there's no point wasting time.
There isn't, and that is the essence, isn't it? Time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know if you can actually say this. Is there discussions on who are you going to go with as a promotional company, who you've got as a manager?
I've got a manager. I'm managed by Catalyst Management.
Right.
But promoters, I've had some offers from promoters already. So we're going to see. We're going to sit down. We're going to look at me and my team. We're going to sit down. We're going to look at see who's the best to go with, and then we'll just go from there. I'm here for the money, so if it makes money, it makes sense. So whichever one I think is going to give me the best deal, basically, and I feel like they can, not just the best deal, whichever I feel like will be the best for my career. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there are a few promoters out there, and obviously we've seen that the floodgates are open now because obviously Eddie Hearn with DAZN has moved away from Sky. Sky's now bringing in Boxer, Wasserman. You've got American shows that are airing on there. So it seems like you said, the lockdown, everyone had to stop, and then we've also had something else pivotal happen in boxing where it's like, okay, the promoters, the doors are open now.
Yeah.
So there are definitely lots of options for you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with this zone split with them, like there's a lot of people going to get more limelight now because obviously Eddie has got all the best, and there's a lot of fish in that pond, and it's hard for a lot of good talent to get seen. So I think it's a breath of fresh air for a lot of people to go with Sky, and a lot of people that are actually really talented to get their time in the limelight where they wouldn't have probably got that with Eddie. Do you know what I mean? And that's no fault of his. He's a good promoter. It's just obviously he's got super champions.
And how many people can you show at one time?
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
Right, okay, cool. Listen, is there anything that you want to add before we stop talking?
No,
just how fantastic managed gym is?
They already know. They already know.
No, managed gym's a spot though. No, I said this managed gym is a spot. I was the first one to come here, and I'll be the last one to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I love it, yeah.
Wow.
Like it's not just what it is. It's more than obviously you've got all the best state of the art stuff, but it's more than that. It's one thing you can't buy in a gym is a feel good factor when you come here and when you leave. So I'll come here and I just enjoy being here. There's not many gyms you go to because I don't like training. I hate training. I do it because I have to do it. I don't enjoy it. I like fighting, I like sparring, I like doing pads, but training I don't like doing it. But this is a gym where you don't mind coming to. It's a feel-good gym, and then the happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. So yeah, they've got the top, they've got the state of the art of everything, but it's more than that. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, Ant's my boy, and we get on well. Do you know what I mean? So it's like training with my brethren, but when it's time to work, you don't let me get away with nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I enjoy it, man. I can't wait to get my pro license and start doing my camps here, because that's what I'm gonna do. And big people from my gym in Derby, we're gonna come and we're gonna train here and use it and rent it out and hire the gym. Do you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this gym's gonna have a big impact on how far I go in my career.
It's amazing, and what surprises me is that, you know, being from Birmingham myself, I never knew about the gym. And I've come in here today and we've got somebody from London, you from Derby, I'm seeing obviously Florian Marku, London, Anthony Yard, London, and it's like everyone's travelling up to this gym. So what does that say?
Exactly. Champions, world champions, Sonny Edwards. You've got Joe Cordina. Yeah, exactly. Avenisi. You got all these people, like, they're not just like up and comers, the people that are established, and they're all coming in. They all say the same thing. These gyms are dogs. Do you know what I mean? So it speaks for itself. You don't have to scream. Like, he's not a boastful person anyway, but he doesn't need to be, because the gym speaks for itself.
The work shows.
Exactly, yeah. And I think, look, he's still new. Imagine where this is going to be in 5-10 years.
You know
Probably
what?
He's going to have franchises all over the show.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. It will be the franchise game, because that's what happens. You get too many people coming in, and you're going to have to start to split it into other places.
That's what happened.
Ty, thank you so much for your time, taking the time out to speak to October Red Boxing here at Manning's Gym. All the best. Hopefully we can get behind you and follow you all the way up to when you go back out there as a pro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow
Manning's Gym.
Yeah, I need the socials.
Oh, my socials?
Yeah, your socials, and obviously the gym socials.
No, the gym socials is Manning's Gym. And then you've got his socials, which is Anthony Manning. And then mine's just Ty Mitchell Official, so Ty Mitchell Official, you know, on Insta. And I say that's how I really use it, I don't use anything else. I don't have Twitter or nothing.
Awesome. Alright then, no doubt I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy, Ty. All the best. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.